Today on the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, the visiting bowler Phil Clough out of Bogey Lanes in East Brookfield, Massachusetts, takes on the home bowler AJ Stockton here at Ryan Family Amusements in Millis, Massachusetts. AJ is elected to put himself in first. Good luck, bowlers. This is 5 strings, 5 boxes at a time as ever in the ACST. 2 match points awarded to the winner of each string and 4 match points awarded to the winner of total pinfall. Phil Clough comes in top of the division at present, 59 and 25. AJ Stockton currently 26 and 30, but only 7 match points back in his division behind James Humes second and Kyle Hetty first. So while Phil has been steady as ever, AJ's certainly on the rise in the season. Waiting for the scoreboard to get set, and then we will be underway. Ah, I see. There's a 5-second clock. Hello, everyone watching on Candlepin Bowling Network and on the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour page. I see the video's cut out. Nope, no, it hasn't. We're good. Now the 10th frame reset animation will be underway in just a moment. If you've never seen Candlepin Bowling, on the very off chance, a very special welcome to you. It plays the same as big ball bowling, but you get 3 small balls rather than 2 big balls. And any pins on the plate stay on the plate and can be used as live wood. It's as simple as that. And the scoreboard is now set and we are underway. We have bowling. Excellent. So again, Stockton, the home bowler, had the choice of turn order and decided to put himself in first, which is a very typical move. Phil will have seen this coming. Sound off in chat. Let me know if I'm quiet on levels or video. Not, but everything looks good on my end. First ball underway. On the 3-pin. 1, 2, 4, and 8. My name is Greg Gouillart, by the way. A pleasure to be taking you through this 5-string action. Straight through the head pin. A good spare bid. And the 2, 4, 8 stays put. That's on target. And a goner for 10. So AJ only 7 match points back, started with an 0-14 against Mike Capone and a 4-10 to Kyle Hetty, both of them throwing over 600. And then tides turned as AJ tossed a 132 en route to an 8-6 victory over James Humes in match 3. This is the 1, 3, 7, and 8. Tough when you've got 2 back row pins like that. See him peeking a little bit. Well, be careful. On target, 1, 3, 8. Goodness gracious, that wood's going to roll into the barn door. 7 was nudged and does not drop. Ten box again, back-to-back 10s. Those 10s can add up in a hurry. We'll look for it to do that again. Evening, everyone. Glad the stream is coming through loud and clear. Remember, if you miss any of the action, you can always watch it back on Candlepin Bowling Network and here on the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour page. Don't forget, the ACST has YouTube presence as well, a channel that still deserves the growth. So make sure to check it out with footage from all the years of the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. 4 horsemen, 7 and 8. There is wood bridging, although the wood seems to be in the middle of the 1 and 3. I'm going to take a zoom here and see if that helps out angles a bit. That's the Scorpion's Hail took the head pin, and AJ's on the board. Got an emphatic fist pump for that. I asked AJ about that Sidewinder delivery. He didn't know what I meant at first, but it's that dramatic Sidewinder delivery where the arm goes almost all the way back behind his back. And when I asked, how long is that the technique you intentionally developed? He said, no, I had no idea I was going that far back. It's just what I've always bowled. 30 plus this bonus ball here, following up the spare critical in this game. It's on the arrow. Perfect. What a great follow-up that is. And will the 9 drop? Yes, it does. Goodbye, strike on spare. So now AJ finding the head pin on the first one, and that's dangerous. Phil Clough, you see in camera corner there, adjusting the score. We'll see the longtime legend in just a moment. AJ, one more box to go. There it is. That's down the arrow as well, but look at this. It's this leaf. Recent controversy is, well, I say controversy, not really, but recent discussion started, what do we call this leaf? 2 pieces of wood, the 4, 5, and 7. Of course, Dan Castle out here, Ryan Family Amusements, and my fellow commentator calls it the castle. Someone says it looks like the castling moving chess. I'm not so sure. It looks more like a knight move to me. But another bowler out of Canada said we should call it the setback, because having a great leave like that sets you back. 9 fill on the strike and a 10 box for a 69 half. Now Phil Clough. Phil Clough, as I mentioned a moment ago, top of the division, has been going pretty much wire to wire. Starts on the lemon drop, unfortunately. Nothing a second ball can't repair. That best shot for Phil is over the 6th arrow, just like that. It does not carry the spare this time, but that's the idea. Contrast that with AJ's ball, which basically goes straight as an arrow. You want that on the arrow the pin is looking at with very little break. The box is repaired very nicely, and that's 10. Both bowlers are actually perfect so far. AJ reminding Phil of the new procedure here at Ryan Family Amusements. It used to have an automatic pin setter, but in a nice move in my opinion, and I trust many of yours as well, the reset is now completely manual, as it should be in Candlepin. Gives you infinite time in case the pins are slow to fall. Like that 7 pin, though that's not going to help the spread eagle leave terribly much. Two, 3, 4. Phil is currently 59 and 25. He's top of the division. Next closest, James Nestor, 38 and 32. That includes a match in hand for James, but still puts him 14 match points in behind a first. Score at 8. Danny Finn, commissioner of the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, calculates match points in a similar way to the games behind stat in baseball. And that's what I mean by 14 back. That curls outside at 6th arrow, crosses all the way over. Look at this. Good leave. 6-10 if the double wood doesn't betray Clough. That was in 2nd place in B South overall. Only one topping him is Jim Hunter on 58 and 12. Oh, the double wood did spin around. Got right of the red line, and that might have foiled him. The only B North Division bowler who can lay claim to a higher record is J.J. Turigny on 56 and 14 with 1 less match played. 9. Remember, 2 match points for the winner of each string and 4 for the winner of total. Hey, everyone in chat, I am looking at your comments. Let me know if anything goes kerflooey, but looks like all systems are go here at Ryan Family Amusements in Millis. Get over 6, you were hit. It's slightly off spot, if anything, but now wood is sitting right in front of it. Flat against the plate, hopefully easy as you like. We'll see. Yes, this time it cooperates. Clough on the board with a mark. Remember, Stockton got strike on spare on his last. This Phil on the head pin as well. Wanted that same sort of follow-up. Sorry to say, it's a spread eagle. Clough 4 for 5 on the head pin, though, an encouraging sign. Albeit not a surprising one. This will be quite a cleanup. That's a tough one for Clough. He was twice accurate on the object pin, but it's going to be a 7 box. Half is 48. Now you see on your screens that AJ is 21 ahead. Yeah, I spoke to AJ quite a bit before the match. He's on an uptick right now. He's actually been battling back from a herniated disc, but I asked, how are you doing today? He said, completely fine. Can you go 5 strings? Oh, sure, no problem. That's head pin moving over to lane 8. Goodness gracious. Now look at this topple. Unfortunately, it doesn't carry the extra corner, but it'll be 7-10. There he is. There's very deep wood. The 10 pin is easy to get, but can we spin the 7? Yes, Cap Shot gets it. Good play. $79 in a ball. One of those times where the wood shot is a very clever one indeed. I got it exactly right on the cap. This one is going to spin like a Beyblade in the back row, and the fill is 4. Still a very good string cooking. 23 over par, assuming 10 is par. Headpin bingo! Spare again, back to back. AJ 23 over. 3 headpins, but this string is going. Stockton's last result was a 14-0 sweep of Bob Lee, 580 to 521. AJ was never south of 107 and prevailed even as the margins tightened to 8 and 5 pins throughout the last 2 strings. And you can see with big-time bowling like that why. The fill is 9. Just a kingpin. Or that middle arrow, easy as you like it. That's the 5th mark. So, putting the pressure on early. Viewer comment from Ian, our great friend up in Canada. At least you have a better spot than you did in Moncton. No, I refute that. Fairlanes was wonderful, and I just kicked the cable a few times. Honest to goodness, if I learned how to set up an Ethernet cable properly, there'd be no issues. And as I said many times during our ICC coverage, that DJ booth was clutch. Bill is 5. This one gets away. Still a 117 through 8 for AJ. Stockton's got to run the horseman down at minimum. Can we send it off the wall maybe? Goodness. And the 7 was hit repeatedly. Well, at least it was hit once. Not a bad crack at that at all. That's 10. You'll love to see it. 127. This is still a pin-perfect string for AJ, by the way. No pins left standing. Some simply say perfect game. Can we get 10 or better on this 10th box? Here it is. Caleri again. Well, completed it last time, needs to do it again. It's a question of pins, but a nice prestige to have. By the way, this will be Stockton's highest string, presuming another stick goes down. He had 132 already. That's the 133rd plus, so a new high string. And this can go for 10, by the way. Not a perfect red line, but oh, light on the 2-pin. Oh, and he knew it too. Sorry, my levels are peaking a bit. I'll tone it a notch down. Check audio. That should be better. Well, the string is 8. The pin perfect went away at the last moment, but 135 season best for Stockton so far. Now Phil Clough, he already had 1 mark earlier. Top of the division, getting a challenge very early on. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 10. Second ball. Into the curtain. Third ball coming up. Haven't seen one of those yet. Needs an out. Yes, very good. 4 becomes 10. It's not a box you want to remember, and that'll wipe that start right out of the memory books. Last result, technically Week 7's match for Phil Clough was a 12-2 victory over James Humes at Bogey Lanes, Phil Clough's home house in East Brookfield for the ACST. Headpin hit and a split, 2-4, 6-10, evens up. Phil threw a 561 against James's 536 and won everything except string number 2. Interestingly, in that match, both bowlers were relatively consistent. Ooh, that one goes right in front of the 6. Phil's strings ranged between 102 and 119, and James's ranged between 94 and 111. Both 17 pins different, in other words. 9 is fine, 67 through 7. So a spare 4 and tough luck with that spread eagle. Clough has only missed 2 headpins so far in the string, just not getting the breaks so far. Had that double wood and 3 splits by my count. This one carves in, now it's a diamond, but there is wood nestling there. That should simplify the matter. Get on the object. Oh, it skated away from it. Just too skinny on the 2. Brutal. It's harsh on the object pin. Clough with a very consistent velocity over the years. Accuracy has proven very reliable for him. Nine box 76 through 8. Phil's Week 5 match was a 10-4 win over Mike Capone, also at Bogey Lanes. Very similar scoreline too. Phil 566, Mike 538, and that also featured a 17-pin spread for Phil. He had strings ranging from 104 to 121. 3-6-10, good leave here. Can he drive the red line through? Yes. Back on track after, again, very solid headpin accuracy. Hasn't been translating to marks yet, but now a chance. Recall his last one was a 4 Phil and a spread eagle. Good crowd. Thank you, everyone. Remember, follow ACST and Candlepin Bowling Network on whatever platform you're on, Facebook and YouTube, for more great shots like that one. Strike on spare, and Phil's got one of his own. So a good response, even though it is now mathematical for AJ Stockton, winning the first 2 match points for the first string victory. But chance now to cut down total. It will not be a double strike, but a chance to grab sticks as this pin aligns nicely with the 2. Yes, very good. The fill is 10, 116. And 19 pins to start out for AJ Stockton as the lead. We plunge straight into string number 2. Love the ACST, love the rapid fire format. I wish I'm not so much in love with my scoring sheet, but we will get that fixed. Nope, that's not it either. Stand by while we get set for string number 2. Ah, that's better. AJ, the home bowler, elected to go first. AJ takes aim. Keep your balance there. That's 4 horsemen, 3 and 8. All right, 1, 3, and 7. Always give a shout out to the home center, Ryan Family Amusements, Millis, Massachusetts. Thanks to Brian and Steve for allowing me the privilege of setting up this table here among the 22 lanes. Good crowd here earlier as AJ cleans up for 10. Earlier there was a league taking up the right-hand side and a youth league elsewhere that was handing out paper plate awards here in Millis, Massachusetts. Well, it was a great scene. I see on the sign outside, in case anyone happens to be in the Millis, Massachusetts area, they are open for Thanksgiving 4 to 10, says the marquee sign out front. Strike, 7 trips late. Second strike for Stockton. Let's see. You know, I'm just realizing I am mangling this. Was anyone going to say anything? I remembered he was first. Goodness gracious. Good start of the strike, Phil. That's 8. What can be tricky, he'll play it. High side it goes. Spare on strike this time. And a 20 box. Someone in chat asks, most memorable moment of the Worlds that wasn't the finals. Probably Kingswood winning by 1 pin. That was a good match. Heck, I'm trying to remember what match that was. We covered them multiple times, but yeah, Kingswood held on for 1. I forget if it was Bears Road or it was Bowling Ball Mafia? Sorry about that. Sometimes it goes as a blur. Sparefield coming up. AJ's already 10 over par again. Head pin again. 257. Oh, baby. Tell he's feeling it now. Pins fly in Millis, but only if you're good, I tell ya. Sidewinder, deliver. No, didn't catch a piece of the 2-pin. And remember I mentioned Stockton's shot tends to go somewhat straight down the alley there. I do believe it got between 3rd and 4th arrow. Watching back his footage, including his previous match against Bob Lee right here on Candlepin Bowling Network, where AJ routed him 14-0. Interestingly, Bob Lee, our executive producer here at Candlepin Bowling Network, I wasn't going to name drop him for the sake of it. It's very relevant for B-South coverage. That's the only opponent which Phil has not gotten the majority of the match points against, even though Bob Lee is 4th. Sorry, sir, just the facts. Check mark left side. Already a 60-plus half working, and possibly more with a conversion. Getting that extra corner's tricky. Which should be immaterial here. Straight up shot, nope. Oh, he caught a piece of the 2-pin. 4-pin, rolling wood, and it trapped in the gutter. A gutter with depth, shall we say. 10 box, nicely dodged on the wood. And the half is 66. Back to Phil. This will nestle in here. 1, 2, 5. 1, 2, 5, 9, and the wood seems to be forming a little guidon back there. If Phil could cross over nicely, this can go, but it all goes around the 5 and foils him. Just didn't drive through. We'll score that 9. Remember, Clough dropped the first 2 match points, but only missed the head pin twice. There's the half Worcester, first time seeing that today. Another factoid about Phil in just a moment. That's the problem with that. The head pin and the ball lost some of the backing, so at that point the ball just went through the 2 hole, so to speak, and the head pin flew between the 3 and 5. Now a tricky 3rd ball as a result. Only catches the tiniest of pieces on the 3. That's 6, I'm sorry to say. Still a long way to go. The pace of the match is quick, but there's still a lot of frames left in it. Phil's week 4 match was a 12-2 rout over Kyle Heddy here at Ryan's Millis. Phil won 632 to 572, losing only string fours match points after Kyle rolled a 145. 178. Now, if he gets on the head pin, the wood might spin out. Can he find a way to drive this through? He goes on the red line, but that wood's not frozen unless it backs up. I think it's going to miss it.
I thought it was going to get steam.
That mic's on for what it's worth. That's 9. So interestingly, when Phil lost to Bob Lee, he also threw a 17-pin spread in that match as well. He's done that in about 3 of his 4-week matches. That time his 17-pin range was a string of 97, ranging up through a string of 114. And he only won the bookend strings in that one when Bob Lee threw high 110s. And that was at Bogey Lanes, I recall, and we did cover that one. Nice shot, 2-pinner goes. The instant Clough gets back on the head pin, it goes for a spare. Love how active the Candlepin scene is in Mass? You bet, Bobby. I think part of the reason Ryan's Candlepin scene is surviving so well is because so many of the employees here are Candlepinners through and through. Past, present, and future of the game. Phil is 7 for Phil. Drives through, spare. He must get that turn of phrase so often. 51 in a ball, and it's heating up now. Stockton already on the 66 half. Has to pin it to protect it. Assume that Phil is 10. You never know. This ain't over yet. And still plenty to go after this. Total, of course, you see firmly in AJ's camp at the moment. But even there, 3 strings can turn the tide. Head pin through. That's on the 3-pin. 7 chips out. Pejoratively sometimes referred to as the Millis 8. That's on the arrow. That's on the head pin and gone. 3rd mark of this string. It's going off again. You know, AJ told me one time, boy, it'd be nice to be in Mixed Worlds or Worlds someday. This is just one match. Patience is a virtue, of course. He knows that. But just worth mentioning, that's 7. And is on the head and more than off here. This is going to roll in front of the 8. Lively sidewalls and everything, no sir. Good grief. It's in the gap and, ooh. Thought that was a decent shot going down, but we'll score that 9. And I asked, I'll get to Phil in a second. First, AJ. 8th box. 92 through 7. 22 over already. On the heels of a 135. That's on the arrow. That's on the head pin. Split. 7, 9, 10. But take a look at this wood. There's a plank in the middle, which he is studying. 7 pins should probably be the easy. Well, 9 pins probably the easiest one with 2 pieces of wood in front of it. 7 pin? Ball deflection, I suppose. How in the world that 10 goes is beyond me. Selects the right tip to try and get a ball deflection that way instead. Nothing doing. And even Phil threw his hands up as well. What are you gonna do? And that's 9. A tough split to work out of there. Only had 1 split in the first place. Hey, AJ. We got some of those moves on camera. Although, was AJ doing the whip that time? He's feeling it now. He's got the right side out. That is the right 3 columns go. 4 horsemen, 5-8 back. That's off balance. Needs an out. Third ball coming up. I mentioned has to pin to protect this lead. Oh, what a great out that is. Clough had one earlier to that where he turned 4 into 10. This turns 4 into 9. Pretty much just as good. And a chance still to pin out for 120. Box 10. Last time had a couple of Caliris and didn't get the perfect string. Had it through 9 boxes. I don't think a single bowler had a perfect string up north in Moncton. One came close. 1-3-10 is gettable, but the 3 is all that's chipped out. So Phil Clough, who is on a mark, will need at least one more because the pinning was well done by Stockton, though right as I say that, it's 8. Still 118. And now, Phil essentially now, if Phil gets a strike on this, string just flips over immediately. And then suddenly Clough is the one who could probably pin out. Phil, of course, a longtime legend of many TV shows, Channel 5. Now, this will get away. This is 3. It's a surprise to be sure. Phil has been steady all throughout. Still plenty of time to find the range. That's good second ball, and the 4-pin stays put. Regaled me also with tales of Thunderbird Bowl in Auburn, where Bay State Bowling was out of. Phil was on that show as well. I wish that was a show that had more episodes. I believe it's Alley Chat that has an episode of that. I don't think it was Wolfman Mike Sweeney, but that was a Tom Olson, Lee Bergeron video. Good shot here. The half Worcester pins, but Wood nestled in between. Clough has a chance here. Otherwise, it'd be very difficult to drive these pins. Just stay on it. Don't get tripped by the wood. Now, he does hit the wood and does tap the 3 from behind. It does not go. Needed the pin directly. He knows. Score that 10. And who could forget Let's Go Bowling, which I'm certain Alley Chat is a video of. And that was a show on Springfield, Massachusetts TV. Phil was on an episode of that Western Mass show. Hey, Bale crumpling quickly. How about this 3-pin? My goodness, the 5, 6, 9, 10 all tripped out in a jiffy. He's still within 2 marks, but he really could use this one. You just don't know what's coming. He's right. I'll tell you one other thing about Let's Go Bowling. That was one of the quirkiest theme songs of all time. Sounds like it belongs more in a crime drama evocative of the decade or maybe the one prior. 9 box. Tilt the camera back this way. Half Worcester. Phil Clough, 59-25. Top of the division as he comes in. This curls nicely. Over curls, in fact. 1-7. So current standings right now, Phil Clough is that 59-25. James Nestor is 38-32, which includes a match in hand in effect, or now 2 by the time this match concludes. So he ends up 14 match points back. 10 box. Rescued that half Worcester. Good to see. That might matter later. Pinning is currently 8 pins left standing for Stockton, and 7 more left standing for Phil. Phil's got this one mixing, 2 trips out from behind, and again he gets a strike in the 10th. This is not over. Double strike and the string is available to play for. Needs it now. We're in the miracle zone, but it's conceivable. It's on the head pin, no sir. Stockton again, 2 more match points. Good ball in there. And a sigh of relief, we caught that one. Wipe the brow, thank you very much, although that's well earned by the same token. Final ball of the string, collects a stick, that's about the best he could do, and 112 for a 6-pin win for Stockton. Take a look-see. There it is, 135 and 118 for AJ. Phil Clough steady again, 116 to 112. Pins fly here at Ryan's, and sometimes higher scores are required to prevail. This time, unlike the last string, he had 8 on 10 on the head pin. Probably would have wanted a few more in that string, but still, it was a. It also has to be said it was a comparable accuracy. I believe both were 5 for 10 on the head pin in that string. AJ, string number 3 underway. 2-5-7. Remember, 2 match points to the winner of each string and 4 for total. Still 10 match points on the table to play for. Tricky split, it's a baby split, needs it. All on the 3rd ball now. Nope, that's curtain again, so 7 box. So that pinning gap closes right up to 4. That is to say, AJ has now left 4 fewer pins standing. But if that tilts, watch out. Stockton only has 2 more marks than Phil as well. Clough did show a visible sign of frustration, though, just then. Hit the table. Very mild-mannered man, but like so many great Candlepin bowlers. Always very intent and hyper-focused on the pins when it comes to. It was one of the prevailing themes. Oh, ran down the 3. The 8-pin was hiding back there as well, didn't go. It was one of the prevailing themes out of the speeches at the ICBA Hall of Fame, that is to say the International Candlepin Bowlers Association, the Proprietors Association. Score that 10. Pinning right back on schedule. I think it was one of the relatives of Jack Sanick, and I apologize, I've forgotten her name, but you'll hear it in a moment, where she said, you know, it was his daughter, and she said, you know, my dad firmly believed, you know, you're a tough competitor on the lanes, and you're the best of friends off the lanes. That's the way it should be. And that's why, even though the competition gets heated here in this great sport of Candlepin bowling, the friendships you make off the lanes, and heck, even on it with your teammates as well, are those for a lifetime. 3-pin is chipped through, needs a 3rd ball. The old adage, do you go for the head pin or do you go for the 6-10, the conservative out or not? It's 9. 26 through 3. Chance could be coming up for Phil. But twice now we have seen Stockton drop a 20 box. Can AJ find the range again? That's on the arrow. Nice straight shot. Now it's a 2-7-8 split, I'm sorry to say. 2-7 shouldn't be too difficult with the wood, but With the lively sidewalls here in Millis, can you send it off? Gonna cross over. Well, how about that? Made the back-to-back half Worcester pins. You don't see that every time when you're aiming for it. Imagine if that wood was just a little bit further right. 10. Kept it on the lane. Basic rule of Candlepin, you must not throw a gutter ball. You have to keep the ball on the lane. Otherwise, the pin doesn't count. 36-4, no marks. We can blame 2 splits for that. Big opportunity for 2 tough Clough. Phil, of course, has been participating in a number of modern Candlepin shows. We'll get to that in a moment. First Stockton's 5th box. He crossed over slightly, but got away with the kingpin. 6-pin. Wood rolls in front of 10. Not quite. Wood should help. Gotta keep it on the lane. Yes, it's gone. There's the spare to sit on, so to speak. 1 for the seat. 46 in a ball. So an opportunity for Phil Clough to turn the tides. Here he is. Stirring 3. He's got the 4 horsemen and the 5-pin as well. Now, he didn't get it curled over, unfortunately. Five pin, still to get. Goes it hard and fast this time. He's got 3 left standing at 7. So matching the 7 box in the early going. Doesn't change the situation, though. The situation is still the opportunity to make something back with a few marks. Has 1 up against them, that's it. Head pin goes. 6-pin will stay put unless this wood knocks it from behind. It doesn't. Wood is getting a little distant, but this should go with relative ease. Just keep it on the lane. Easy as you like. No problem. 17 in a ball. Modern Candlepin shows Clough has been on. Phil's been on King of the Palace, New England Candlepins, Candlepins for Cancer right here on Candlepin Bowling Network. The man can still do it. He's got the outpost and a 5-fill. This splats on the head pin. 3-6-7 on the object. Yes, it's carrying through nicely. He's got that 8 box. Phil also has an unorthodox delivery. You see, he literally drags his foot as he goes down the lane, and he does oftentimes wear out that certain insole on the right toe. Headpin's good. It's a good contact. This wood spins all manner of directions. It turns into, thankfully not double wood. That would have, it's 2 pieces of wood, but they ended up cap to cap, so less of a hindrance, and Phil's got another one. He got 5 on the last fill, but a chance for more. And now he can take initiative. Hasn't gotten all the way out there, though. He tripped an extra. That's 4. 44. Chips an extra. 5-7 goes out. Much to AJ's surprise.
I see that way too many times. Physics don't allow that. I don't understand.
It's a game of broken physics, isn't it? The box is 10. That's well pinned out. 54 half, so that gives Clough a tentative lead in this string. We got a good one. Penning this fill for AJ. Yes, head pin. That is the lead in the string. By 1. Second straight 9 drop. Had those 2 splits earlier. Has to wait for traffic to his right. Ryan Family Amusements is very busy tonight. Bowlers try to gain separation here in the ACST, but that's not always possible. So waits his turn. There you go. That's a spare. And that's the right thing to do. When both bowlers are ready, you wait for the bowler on your right side. I know there was a lot of ado made about the pace of play at major tournaments. Nobody likes getting cut off. This is 3 on that fill. Bowie was riding the momentum of 2 9-fills, but like Ballston Beach on the Cape, you took the wave a little too hard and too fast and crashed into it. Or maybe that's Coast Guard Beach. No matter. Oh, what a great comeback that is. Cluster of 7 goes. And that's 3 straight spares. Although Stockton's going to want more than 6 fills on this one. More than a 3 fill on this one, excuse me. It's averaging out to a 6 fill. AJ 26 and 30, but those 4 match points just equalized his record to 30 and 30, and it could be a winning record when all is said and done. 3 marks in this string, 11 overall in these first 3 strings incomplete. How about this one? That's on the arrow. Shades a little bit right, but the fill's 6, so it is still 6 as an average. On Candlepin Bowling Network stats, we estimate the average spare fill is, many of you are saying it already, I'm sure, 6.5. Average strike fill, 8.3. That's per our executive producer, Bob Lee, and his statistics he compiled from a whole range of professional matches. AJ needs an out. Already has 1 7-box. Both bowlers losing a comparable amount of pins so far. Phil's lost 5 and AJ's lost 4 in this string. That's drilling 1 for 7. All right, 91 through 8. Still a good string, but a chaseable total now. Unless Stockton finds that higher gear again. Already has his season high of 135 in the first. Can another 20 box come to the forefront, perhaps? Is that too much to ask? Headpin hit, yikes. Just as he was trying to regain momentum, spread eagle on the 3rd split of this string. Had 2 of those solid 9 drops and missed the headpin the other 3 times. Amazing 22-lane house. Ryan Family Amusements, Millis, Massachusetts. That's down the middle. A lot of efforts made to increase scoring, which Pete Crawford Jr. took full advantage of when he got that 227 in the Friday Night Pro League coverage. You can see that on Alley Chat Facebook. That's a great out. 4 becomes 10. How about that? Well, well, well. I think Paul Grant's having a conniption right now. What a way to get it on the 3rd ball. 101 through 9. Still wants another mark, or else Phil could chase him down with just 1. It's a good one. Now, we saw AJ make a 7-10 split already, but this one's got nigh impossible wood, unless he can send it wildly off the wall. We saw it earlier. It was part of that sensational string 1. No, that's off the wood in the channel. 8 box. So, well, the 7-10 went down, but not the way he wanted it, so the pins do not count by rule, 109. And now, Clough only requires 1 mark to catch. If he pins out, of course, that's 104. That would not be enough to take the 2 match points. Phil Clough currently is 59-25. James Nestor is 38-32. It also has to be said that Phil is bowling his average right now. He is bowling 116 and 112, and his average is 114. That considers all houses and all scoring conditions, of course, but it is an interesting designation. Over to Phil. Trying to really get it out there, and that's a good result. 136. It's an old cliche, his ball takes it, but with that curling ball from arrow 6, I think Phil's got a good crack at this one. Had 2 of those 9 drops. Crushed them both for spares. Love to put it together here. On target, but thin on the head pin. Not this time, still 4 boxes left after. That's 10. Commissioner Danny Finn watching in chat. Hey, careful with those. Careful, I'm not good at detecting sarcasm. If you make a ruling and I misconstrue it, I might get false reporting. No, I kid. Danny Finn, great. I think president of the league is his proper title. I call him commissioner frequently, but president. Phil, yes, it goes. Left side out, then the rest go. So this time, after 9 drops, getting his first 2 spares, now he misses the head pin on 1 and gets it on 2. And got the head pin on the Phil this time. It's 7. Not a very nice leave, but now he can pin out the win. He's on a tightrope with this. He has to not lose more than 2 pins. That's a very good crack at that. Wood is in front of the 7. He may be able to live just by doing that now. That's a very interesting 2-pinner. Doesn't make it to the plank, interestingly. That's 9. Now 1 more mark will give Clough essential safety at this point, and 2 match points. And, of course, a close up total, which is currently 24 apart if Phil Clough pins out. But this gets on the head pin and leaves the 4-pin. That's not the nicest piece of wood. It's straight out in front and may not be covering. Arrow 6, left side of the wood, it curls through. Yeah, I'm going to tag that as adverse wood on my stats. That wasn't easy. But it is a 9 drop and a spare, and the 3rd time, in effect, that Phil. Ball is 19.5 miles an hour at the other side of the lanes, but doing damage. He's missed the head pin again after that 9 drop, but he's got the 4 horsemen and 6. So, that is a win for the string. The spare did come, 4 marks to 3, easy as you like. Can he run it down for another? No, head pin is missed. All right. I'll put up 4th string of 5 in advance before I forget, folks. And the box is 10, 116. 116, 112, and then another 116, this time to take it. Full standings right now, real quick. There we go, you see them. Pretty Pretty consistent for Phil. I mentioned he'd be holding 17 pin ranges throughout. Now his range is only 4. And he's doing it about average, if not slightly above that 114 average that he came with. Stockton on the downturn at the current moment, but again, the overall trend in his season has been up. Let's see where the trend goes. String 4. Bullseye. 4-8. I mean, it was a bullseye shot, just didn't produce a strike. This is Candlepin Bowling Network and the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour on Facebook and YouTube. And make sure to like and follow on Facebook if you're there, or subscribe on YouTube. Spare for Stockton. You know very much about our Candlepin Bowling Network coverage by now, I trust, but hopefully you'll take the time to follow if you have not already by hitting the subscribe button on YouTube for our highest quality images, although we love Facebook and appreciate, love that Facebook provides this platform for us. And don't forget about the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour YouTube page as well. Great archive of matches from present and past dating back to the early years of the league. No, sir, that's going to be 9. Good start, but again, I've put it in the wrong spot. Silly, silly. Gregory. That's where the 19 should go for AJ. Gone. Danny Finn back in chat reminding us that Phil Clough is an Outrun the Bear champion. I forget which format. I need to get a list of these Outrun the Bear champs just for my own reference, of course. They proudly display them on the banner picture on their Facebook page, the Outrun the Bear tournament. But a great tournament run out of here at Millis. I'll explain it in just a moment. First this, Spare Phil, not 9 this time. It's going to wash out 4, 33 through 2. Outrun the Bear is a series of single strings, the old maxim of, I don't have to outrun the bear, I just have to outrun the other guy. So try not to be towards the bottom of the field and you survive in these single string comparisons. Those are the spread eagle pins going, 310. Many years the tournament has been on. I don't believe the next one has been announced yet. But what a great following gets developed here at Ryan Family Amusements in Millis, Massachusetts. Spare is off the board now, 42 through 3. So only the first head pin missed. The other 2 times AJ's hit it, he's on. AJ even warned me, I'm going first. Are you sure you don't want to put it on the left side? And I said, no, I want the home bowler on the right side. 1-3. Second time, I believe, AJ has washed out 8 pins and gotten the 2-pinner. Let's see. That's right of the arrow. Well, it got a piece of the arrow, but it was tailing off to the right. It's not easy for me to tell Stockton's break on his ball. You got that side delivery, and then just the angle as it comes out. That seemed almost straight to left that time. That's 10. Only left the 1 pin standing. 9 fill, 4 fill, 1 left. Pretty good. That's 3. Make that 2. Aha! We got the 8 washout again. Didn't go the last time. And someone in chat, I think it was Ian again, making a comment. Yeah, AJ holds the ball in his right hand to prep it, then deals with the left one and dishes a spare, the 3rd one. 62 in a ball. 3rd time in this match that Stockton has a 60-plus half. The one time he didn't, Clough took advantage. Phil's been going consistent 110s. 8 pin tips in the back. 1, 2, 4, 5, 9. Again, this is Greg Gouillart, Candlepin Bowling Network, Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. Pleasure to have you along. 9 goes out. Tailed away immediately. Still a great record keeper on his statistics as well. He takes his development very seriously. And I do say development even though he has very little to prove. 9 box. I mentioned AJ has aspirations of being on a Worlds team, and I said, well, Phil, I'm sorry for my naivete. I haven't heard of your Worlds experience, with apologies if I'm missing information here. And, you know, information's tough to go by. Get over 10. Doesn't go. And he said, oh, yes, I certainly did. And that didn't surprise me, of course. You know, through the mid-'80s and late '90s, he had teams. And of all the teammates he listed, Jim Orlandi popped out at me. So Phil knows what it's like to bowl on the international stage, unsurprisingly. That's a spare. He missed that 1-9 drop, but really hasn't missed any since. That's a good one again. Score at 9. Uh-oh. This is gone. The wood will take it. Spare again, back to back. Clough can take over initiative, possibly. It's about tied at this point. Didn't quite get over to the head pin. This will take out 6, the 4 horsemen. Tough one. The pocket's facing the wrong way for his right to left ball. Let's see if he can run it down anyway. Dug in pretty well, although he just missed the head pin. (44-3). Clough 44-3, Stockton 62 and a ball at the half. Not pinned, that's 8. So if he pins out at 10, he'll be trailing by exactly a mark. If he gets the mark, he will not. And we would have ourselves another barn burner down the stretch. Does this present an opportunity? Wood straightens out at the very front of the plate. 7, 9, 10. Clough is 61 at the half. After a tough split. Dr. Strike on spare. Oh, baby. So we got that 20 box again. That's the 3rd time he's done that. Did I mention his season's on the rise? Why, yes, that is Kate Finn on the adjacent lane. One of the ladies of TikTok of Candlepin Bowling. Candlepin ladies of TikTok? Boy, I hope I've got that right. 7 on the first strike ball. 3-7-9. Not sure why we're crackling all of a sudden. I'll look into that. The fill is 9. 91-6. Score at 10. Watch that left foot. And it is 101 through 7. Had the 135 previous. And with another mark. After AJ's highest was 132, remember he bowls out of here, Ryan Family Amusements for ACST. Could he go higher than 135? With a drop like that, maybe. 6-pin. And a nasty shock for our division leader, Phil Clough. Yes, spare again. $111 and a ball through 8. And the 5th mark of this string. Had 5 in the previous one as well. Only left 1 pin standing as well, by the way. It's pin near perfection again. This time, though, the fill is 3, and it's 114. Now we'll have some work to do to beat that 135. Score correction now. Score correction coming in. So, by the way, I thought I had this scored correctly, but I'm looking through. It is apparently 117 for AJ Stockton on the 2nd string. I have deducted that now, with apologies if it was my scoring error. I'll mark that as a pin lost. Phil Clough's score is correct through 3. So it was a 17 pin margin for AJ instead of 18, effectively. And that's what's on the score sheet. That's what we're going with. It's a 7 box. Interesting. So 3 fill in a 7 box, so it collapses into 2 10s. Still, Stockton on course for a 130. On the arrow, on the head pin, 7 pin is all that's left. This wood is threatening to cause trouble. It's still rolling, but now rolls away. So just a piece in the channel for AJ to contend with. Could he go higher than 131? Lefty should have an easier time with 7. Yes, he did. So that's 3 9 drops and an 8 drop for AJ Stockton. 131 and a ball with that 6th mark, including a strike on spare. How high is this string gonna go? Last ball in the 10th, gets away, it's 2, but the string is 133. His 2nd highest of the season. Phil requires at least 3 marks to catch up. If he could start chaining strikes and spares together, there's a possibility. That's a handshake with AJ you just saw, congratulating him on another extraordinary string. I think those herniated disc troubles are distantly a thing of the past by now. 4 horsemen, 4 tips somewhere, you'd think. Now, has that wood turned nicely behind the 2? 127. It does not make it to the head pin. Still curious to see if the wood would have cooperated. It did carry. The shot was on. 10 box. So it proves an opportunity that got away. Both bowlers, I believe, if I have this correct. No, AJ got 6 head pins. Phil's running about 50%, and that's a 100% hit rate on the pins. Strike. Phil's 3rd. Usually he saves that strike for the 10th box. He didn't that last string. But now he's got one earlier on. 81 plus 2. That's one of the marks he needed. A double strike would probably be his quickest way back in. It's a lottery ticket, but why not? He doesn't get there. 3 on the first. Check, check, 1, 2. Up. Checking my levels. There we go. I thought I kicked my headset mic out for a second. Oh, dear. The fill is 3 on the strike after that one gets in the curtain. Now it's 8. That's a good third ball. But has the damage been done? Yes, I'm afraid to say so, for this string anyway. Needs a double strike somewhere to take string at this point, but 4 horsemen, a chance to gain total. Can he run this down? Can he run it down? Oh, goodness. Might have gotten full on the head pin. Not fully on the pocket as he had hoped. Why, yes, that is Duncan McDougall on the stream. We've seen him on the Atlantic Candlepin Single Store already, on ACST Facebook and on Candlepin Bowling Network. If you want to see more than a passing glance of him and other great bowlers, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Clough, 4-7-10 split. Clough only had 1 split in the last string. Had a couple in this one. The first string was particularly brutal to him. He collects 9. Oh, is that wood going to roll across? Oh, goodness, he got 10. Oh, my. Well, after Stockton got that spread eagle make, who knows? So, AJ wins another 2 match points. Still 6 to play for. Scores 133 to 112. Little seesaw, teeter-totter, exact 114 average for Phil Clough. Sinusoidal progression or something like that. AJ Stockton another 133. Dialed again for string 5, although the nickel and dime stares back except the 10 pin dropped. Well, he was hoping to drop a dime, but he dropped the dime? Good enough for us. No, it gets away this time, though. That's the first 9 drop Stockton's missed all day. 10. Still very evident why he's B class in climbing. Relishes in the coverage. Loved being on our Friday Night Pro League coverage as well when he substituted for Rich Lamoni's Central Park Lane squad. That's head pin. Maybe crossed over a smidge? I couldn't tell. 7, 9, 10. Phil had this annoying leave earlier. 9-10 is very simple in this case, although even there the double wood proving tricky. How do you send it across? Conjunction junction? Nope. It just all collapsed inwards and the 7 pin stayed put. And that slow rolling piece of wood is just going to taunt him. Now he takes notice and stops up. By rolling Candlepin bowling, you're meant to stop until all wood is stationary. And a 10. Though corollary, if the wood apparently stops moving, then starts moving again, you get the benefit of the doubt on that one. It's like the yellow traffic light, you know, the benefit of the doubt that absolutely nobody abuses, ever. And never causes any problems. That's a 6 and 9 with a plank. I think that's covering. In my view, red line should take it. It's a bit distant. Play it in the wrong spot, it could spin. Or are we playing it outside? Goodness. No, he's not happy with the placement of that shot. Interesting. Oh. 9 box now. Had been pinning well. So it's really just a concern over, can he hold his medal here? It is true that Phil will need a number of marks to get back into total pinfall, but wants to preserve these pins. So far, so good. That's head pin. This time we've got a true nickel and dime leave. I used to say 5 and dime, but it sounds too much like 5 and 9. Maybe I'm being ridiculous. There is vertical wood to the right of the 5. Stubbed on the cap. AJ's 4 for 4 on the head pin to start. That's 9. One more box to go. Oops. Really appreciate everyone's support here. I appreciate all of you watching and all of you at Ryan Family Amusements for making the stream possible. The staff here. 38 through 4. That looks left. Left of the arrow, left of the head pin. 4 horsemen. First head pin miss of the string. Remember, Phil only missed 2 head pins in the first string and still only came away with 116 due to a bevy of bad luck. Bad 3 splits, a diamond, a 2-drop. 2-pinner with double wood. That's gone for a spare. What do you know? The 1 head pin miss turns into a spare. 48 in a ball.
Good evening, league bowlers. It is time for Steve's Bowler of the Week with a high game of 112.
The voice of Steve Reno.
3-string total of 318. Please give it up for your Bowler of the Week, Beverly Most. Congratulations.
Not material to our match, but a great league tradition here to be called out by Steve Reno, Sr., Hall of Famer. I hear there's a candy bar in it. A great tradition here at Ryan's. One of many Ryan's bowling locations, but far and away the best one for Candlepin. 147, excuse me. Six match points still on the line. Phil will need a lot to get the 4 for total. That's 7, making it even tougher. String is still in play, though. Facing only the 1 mark in the 5th. Final string, Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, Ryan Family Amusements, Millis, Massachusetts. This is the 4 horsemen, 8 and 9. Doesn't dig in. James, I see you in chat. Oh, you're going to... Yeah, James Nestor takes on... You're taking on Phil next in Bogey Lanes, right? Or very soon. I'm actually closer to Bogey. Just saying. 9 box. Is it just me, or is Clough's tempo starting to quicken up a bit? This is lopsidedly the most frustration he's had to face throughout the season. Although it's quite young, this is week 6. The ACST-B starts with 3 intra-divisional matches among the 4 in each division, followed by a dozen inter-division matches and 3 more division rivalry matches to close out the season. Four, 5, 7. Good for nothing leave. Always 2 pieces of wood, never any help. 10 box. 7, 9, 10 up the line. Phil's running out of time. For total, Oh, AJ, of course. That's 6. 4 horsemen again. This time it's on the other side, and that should be more favorable with Phil's shot. Curl it around the arrow 6. Immediately dissatisfied. Very rare you see, very rare in my sight anyway, that you see Phil this visibly flustered. 9 box. And he will still be lopsidedly ahead in his division. Although maybe a little less so. He still would love to claw back 2 match points because nothing is sooner. And James right here in chat is loving the sight of this, I'm sure. Oh, but that's a 9 drop. That would better get in the channel. Thank you very much. Had trouble with this last 7-pinner. No, it's off the channel. I think it's close. I believe that's foul. We'll verify. There was a discussion, actually. Now, this is interesting. A conference is breaking out among the bowlers. The ICBA rule is very clear that the ruling has to come without influence, effectively. You have to say fair without influence in order for the shot to count. Yeah, AJ and Duncan McDougall, an interested spectator, was looking on and didn't think the shot was good. Note one very important thing, Candlepin Bowling Network would never snitch or volunteer the footage or weigh in on this unless approached. And even there, you still have to consult your local league rules, if any, in that situation. Stockton's not thrilled with the fill, though. That's 3. So this is a 1-mark strength still. 45, you see, plus 45 for AJ. Very close to 600. That mark might do it. Good count and good pinning, and he's there. How high will this go? Already has a 135, already has a 133. There's only 1 over par in this. Head pin mixing 9, good hit. 9 and 10 were reluctant, but they went. And it's another 9 drop. Can AJ spare this one? Yes, he can. 3 straight. 80 in a ball, and look at this. So now, if Stockton blunders the fill, it could still pin out for 604, and now this could go higher. Decent count, we could go for 610. Whenever the total gets blown out of proportion, ask yourself, how big is one guy's score getting here? Pretty darn high, that's 7. What a night AJ is having. Triangle number 4. Haven't dealt with a triangle all night, have we? Made up of the 4, 7, and 8. Made a similar shot with that 1 pinner, and it's gone again for 4 straight. Oh, baby. 97 in a ball. Now 600's a virtual guarantee. Fills of 3, then 9, then 7. Holy smokes. Here it is. This fill won't bust up. Loads up 6. This is a serious heat check moment. Can you send the 3 into 1? Sends it. Wood goes in front, not to be. And the mark streak stops. AJ will bust through 600. The box is 9 thanks to that pesky piece of wood. 112 through 9. And this finds the commentator scurrying for standings to see if that's the highest. Is that going to bork the stream? Hopefully not. Tough to look that information up on the fly, folks. I apologize. 112 through 9. That's good, except for the leave. Goodness. 6, 8, 10. AJ was 8 for 10 on the head pin in that string. Although a decidedly better results than the Phil Clough's first string, where he went 8 for 10 on the head pin. $120 is assured. Third ball coming on up. Safe way out. That's 9, 121. Series 615. Average 123. Holy smokes. And Danny is in chat saying 651 is the highest. 651 is the highest for B South. 615, reverse the digits. Not too shabby at all. Phil is not out of this string, but needs a lot of help. Half Worcester. So pinning was only 7 in AJ's favor right now. Clough has lost 7 more, plus however many more here, especially with this pesky head pin not doing much for him. 3 strikes and 10 spares for Phil with 5 boxes to go. That's a great out. That was a 2-4-7-10 converted for a 9. AJ, 3 strikes and 18 spares. $189. Gee whiz. Not even a kingpin to help out. Maybe the wood could ramp the head pin back in. He's actually going to roll back into place. Oh, look at this. It went. 1 went into 8 and tipped into 9. Nope. No reason for excessive celebration, but that was pretty. 63 and a ball through 7. A markout would be his quickest way back into this. That's pretty good. Uh-oh. 9 drop. 72 through 7. 2 is the minimum number of marks he requires. Spare strike. Well, spare starts. This is not over. String's not over. Phil is resilient. Blink of an eye, the string could disappear. This is not over yet. Another 9 drop is probably his most assuring path back in. Needs to keep running this tightrope act. He gets 6. 88 through 8. Mark here or else it puts him into the miracle zone and requires a double strike. He got the outside of the head pin. It didn't go. 3-6. So the total is guaranteed for Stockton. That's 4 match points for him. 8. One more box. Double strike 5 is the only way. That's a good head pin hit, but not enough. 6 more match points for AJ. 12-2 the result. Put a spare on the board. 3 marks in the last 4 for Phil. It will come up short. 106 and a ball. Last ball in the 10th, and then we'll compare the scores. Again, remember, for great bowling content, follow us on the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour and on Candlepin Bowling Network. Spread Eagle Phil, that's about right. Let's go home. 4, 110, and let's see the results. Final match point result, 12-2. 49-pin win, 615. Again, Phil Clough, 566. And, you know, Phil Clough rolled 566. I mean, sure, fast conditions at Millis, and the 566 was at Bogey when he went over Mike Capone, you know. But that was 10-4. Here it's 2-12. What do you know? AJ Stockton, what a tremendous performance that was. And you see it on your screen, 615 to 566. My name is Greg Gouillart. Thank you very much for watching this presentation of Candlepin Bowling Network and the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. And until next time, so long.